Everyone, welcome to the show. So, lots of political theater going on in DC, and even Donald Trump allies aren't buying what they're selling right now. Republicans really think that they're delivering like these Meryl Streep type performances, but in actuality, like what I liken it to is that they're like the kid that goes in for the American Idol audition, the one that doesn't realize they were only chosen, they were only advanced to the next round because they wanted the audience to laugh. So, anyway, here's the latest. Here's what's going down with this Trump and Jeffrey Epstein cover up. So, first, bring this up for you guys. The Justice Department has issued a statement. They said that a DOJ official is going to be meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell, which is Jeffrey Epstein's longtime girlfriend, his accomplice, who is in prison for trafficking minors. You know, the thing that they said doesn't exist. So Todd Blanche is the one that they're sending. He is the deputy AG. He is also a former Donald Trump attorney, his personal attorney. And he said in a statement, quote, "If Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what she has to say." The reason I'm laughing is because why didn't you do this before? Right? Maxwell's attorney, they have confirmed that, yes, in fact, the DOJ has reached out. Justice Department wants to meet with her. What do you think is going to happen in that meeting? I can just imagine how that's going to go down, right? Hey, Ghislaine, remember what happened to your friend Jeffrey? Which she has said now on video more recently that she absolutely does not believe he committed suicide. She believes he was murdered. So there's that. They're like putting out this political theater that, oh, see, we're doing something. We're trying. We're going to go meet with this woman and find out what she knows, as if they don't already have that evidence in their possession. And then there's this. So the House Oversight Committee, they voted yesterday to subpoena and depose Maxwell. This bill would then presumably advance to the full House for a full vote, right? As I mentioned, though, I don't trust her. Why should we, even if they did do this, even if they do bring her in, why would we believe this woman? She has never just come clean. She has to this day said, "Oh, no, we didn't traffic girls. We didn't do anything wrong. I am being held accountable for a horrible man who is now dead." And at the same time, she's looking for a pardon from Trump. So, you know, are we to believe that this woman is going to tell the truth? Of course, she's going to go, "Hey, I'll tell everyone, I'll take the heat off of you, Donald, and say that you weren't involved, you had nothing to do, you never did anything untoward, anything illegal, if I get a pardon." And then something else happened that terrified all of the Trump-humping Republicans. So check this out. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna, along with Thomas Massie, they have put forth a resolution to try to get all of these Epstein documents released. So he posted on Twitter, he said that he has the votes to pass this. They obviously know they have enough people on board to do this, but instead of doing what the majority of Americans want, Speaker Mike Johnson shut down the House early for summer recess. So he has now canceled their final day of votes, which would be tomorrow, which would be Thursday. They were supposed to be voting on work for the American people, but instead they're going home. Consider what this means. This means that Congress is halting their work on behalf of all of us, on behalf of the American people, because the GOP refuses to hold powerful pedophiles accountable. And they're trying to protect Donald Trump. This is insanity. And it's tearing the MAGA Republican Party in half. So even some Trump supporters, even some fellow conservatives are not on board with this vile cover-up. Take, for example, like I said, Thomas Massie, the co-author of that resolution. He specifically said, he totally slammed Speaker Mike Johnson. He said, quote, "I think this is the referendum on Johnson's leadership. Who's he going to pick? Is he going to stand with the pedophiles and underage sex traffickers? Or is he going to pick the American people and justice for the victims? This is the ultimate decision the speaker needs to make, and it's irrespective of what the president wants." I mean, not good. Not good when a member of your own party is saying, you going to protect pedophiles? Is that what we're doing now? Unbelievable. Unbelievable that this is happening, but good on Thomas Massie. And then even Trump bootlicker, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she went off about this. So here is her tweet. On Monday, she posted, quote, "If you tell the base of people who support you of deep state treasonous crimes, election interference, blackmail, and rich, powerful, elite evil cabals, then you must take down every enemy of the people. If not, the base will turn and there's no going back. Dangling bits of red meat no longer satisfies. They want the whole steak dinner and will accept nothing else." I mean, God help us. When Marjorie Taylor Greene becomes the voice of reason, you know we are doing something very wrong in this country. We took a very wrong turn as a nation. So anyway, the podcast bros, the comedians who all back Trump, they're not letting up on this either. They are still questioning this whole thing. So check this out. This is Tim Dillon. He is a comedian. He has a podcast, for those who don't know. Guy is hysterical. He's a very funny guy, very bright as well. And he had dinner apparently recently with the vice president. It's Donald Trump's vice president. And this is why he is not picking up what they're throwing down, if you catch my drift. So this is what he said to Mr., they're gay frogs. We got gay frogs. Alex Jones. He had Alex Jones on. So check out what Dylan told him.
Wendy said we have 10,000 hours of video. She said we have 10,000 hours of video. I had dinner last week with the vice president. He told me that was commercial pornography. They do not have videos of any powerful person in a compromising position. That's the party line that they're going with. If that's the case, why would Pam Bondi call it evidence? Why would she say it's evidence? She's not an idiot. She's the attorney general. Why would she say she has files on her desk if none of these implicated anybody? It just feels like they're covering something for sure, 100%. And I feel like they're telling a story, and the story doesn't make any sense.
Imagine that. The story doesn't make any sense. So Dylan tried to excuse all of this away last week. He was saying like, oh, Trump must be scared and, someone must have threatened him or something. He's starting to piece it together, though. He's starting to figure it out. Also, broadcaster Theo Vaughn, he posted on Twitter, I think this was on Monday, and he's questioning the Speaker of the House. So here's what he wrote. He's tagged Johnson. He's tagged the Speaker of the House. He tagged J.D. Vance, and he asked, quote, "Why can't we put the Ro Khanna Thomas Massie bill for a vote this week?" Even Loony Laura Loomer hasn't backed off of this issue. Of course, she's still blaming other people. It's never Trump's fault. So when it was announced that the DOJ planned to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, she had the same question that I did. Loomer posted on Twitter, quote, "Why wasn't this interview with Ghislaine Maxwell done on day one?" Good question. Good question, Laura. Maybe go ask your old buddy, Bibi Netanyahu. And you know who else is not falling for this? The people who voted for Trump voters. So I don't know if you guys saw this article. USA Today, they asked their readers, what do you think and how do you feel about Donald Trump's claim that there's nothing more to see here, nothing in the Epstein files? So here's what they were told by one Trump supporter. Normally, I block out people's names, you guys know, but this guy's name, everything was in this article. So his name is already out there. So this was Phil Parlock. He's from Huntington, West Virginia. And he said in part, quote, "Yes, I believe a Jeffrey Epstein client list exists and that many highly visible people are on the list. It appears that the president is protecting them and possibly himself. Because of this, I think we will start to see a greater divide among his supporters. I would say to the president, despite your more than several less than likable personality traits, we supported you because we love America and you also love America. However, we also stand for truth, justice, and the American way. Please put our minds at ease and release the list. I supported you, attended many of your rallies, and even greeted Kamala Harris at 3 of her rallies with a 6-foot Trump banner. Follow American ideals, Mr. President. Please release the list or resign." So, yeah, a lot of people not falling for it. And he even said in there, as you heard, maybe he's protecting himself. They're starting to catch on. Also on Twitter, it is just a tsunami of anti-Trump, Epstein suspicious tweets. So, for example, one Twitter user, a guy named Greg, he responded to a post that basically said, you know, anybody who really voted for Trump, they're not going to sit out the midterms. Greg said, nah, not really. That's not really the case. So Greg responded to this post and said, quote, "It's not about Jeffrey Epstein. It's about blatantly lying and thinking we're stupid. There's court cases, depositions. We know Clinton and others are guilty. And the White House has been hijacked by foreign and corporate lobbyists and neocons. I didn't vote for this shit. So now I'm over it." And he was not the only one by any stretch of the imagination. Another man replied to the post and said, quote, "3 times, I'm out. Total gaslight job. I'm out. What you don't get is Epstein is about the system and the corruption sickness. Trump was a promise of breaking that. Now he's showing that's not happening ever. I'm done participating in the farce." He wrote participating, but anyway, you get the idea. And then a woman named Mariah said, quote, "This 3-time Trump voter and registered Republican will absolutely sit out over this." And then someone tried to guilt her. They said, "Oh, you know, are you just going to let Democrats impeach Trump then?" And she replied, quote, "If they do, he's earned it. He's tripled down on it, on this dumpster fire. Let him reap what he's sown." Another woman named Natalie responded to the original post and pointed out, quote, "Epstein is about so much more than just Epstein. I voted for what I thought was some actual honesty for once in government. It's all same bullshit. Add to that the disgusting gaslighting saying who cares after big names around him, including people in his cabinet, and VP were talking Epstein disclosure before he was elected. I also didn't fucking vote for more weapons to Ukraine or bombs in Iran. So yeah, I'm out. A man named Steve also answered the original poster and said, quote, an honest person will. If Trump and Republicans prioritize protecting rapists, then they don't deserve our vote. Another Twitter user, apparently a guy from J.D. Vance's neck of the woods, he replied, quote, me, but I ain't sitting out. I'm voting against him just for spite if he doesn't get his head out of his, and then he put in a peach emoji for ass. And then a man who calls himself a MAGA cultist, he wrote, quote, whoever has Trump's ear better grab it fucking right now and start yelling into it about the handling of this Epstein matter. What a fucking disaster. And then another guy replied, quote, me, a libertarian who only voted for Trump because of some of his promises. One other man said, quote, this one, I don't like being gaslighted. Another told the original poster, quote, I'll gladly sit out the midterms and let the fuckers burn over Epstein. We are the people of the United States of America. Our government and administration will do whatever the fuck we tell it to. And here's the last one I'm going to share today, although there were a ton more and there were responses to the responses, all torching Trump, all torching the Republican Party over this issue. But the last one was in response to a Democrat complaining about alligator Alcatraz. So the official Twitter account for ICE, Immigration Enforcement, they said that this was, quote, pure political theater. Well, a man responded to that and told them, quote, she can call it what she wants. She didn't vote to protect pedophiles that raped kids on Epstein's island. I believe her more than I do any Republican right now. And in 52 years voting for Republicans, that is something I never thought I would say. So, yeah, Republican voter who clearly voted for Trump and is now saying, I don't trust you guys. I trust Democrats more. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So anyway, guys, I will have a lot more where that came from. This Epstein stuff is still popping off. I don't know that it's going to die down while they're all off on recess. If anything, I think what we're going to see over the next few weeks is videos from town halls and from people protesting at town halls or at other venues and pushing them and screaming at them to release the Epstein files, because everybody knows what Donald Trump is telling them to release. The grand jury testimony is not the Epstein files. That only pertains, the grand jury documents and testimony only pertains to the case that was brought in 2019. And it was only what took place before he was arrested. So that is not going to include a lot of what we're all looking for, which is the videos showing who the co-conspirators were, showing who these sick assholes were who were violating children so that Epstein could record it and then supposedly use it as blackmail. That's what we all want to know. Not why Epstein himself got in trouble and was arrested during the Donald Trump, his first term. I mean, we want to know that, but a whole lot of that is going to be redacted. And there's so much more that needs to be released. And people understand that. So anyway, guys, I will let you know when I have more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.